Thousands of mourners gathered in East Jerusalem during a funeral service of slain Al Jazeera journalist Shireen Abu Akleh, who was shot dead on Wednesday, allegedly by the Israeli army. The funeral service descended into chaos after Israeli security forces confronted and beat up the mourners carrying the coffin. For more on this, we're joined by Abdallah Grifat of the International Human Rights Organization in Israel. Thank you very much for availing yourself this afternoon. We understand that you actually took part in proceedings and you attended the funeral service. Are you able to capture the emotion for us?
Thank you very much for having me. I'm afraid that actually capturing the emotions is way more than what I can express in my words. You know, we attended one of the largest funerals in the history of Palestine, and certainly the largest funeral for a Palestinian female in the Palestinian history. I mean, Shireen Abu Akleh, there was Palestinians from all over Palestine attended the funeral here in Jerusalem. Started at the hospital where the body was this morning in Sheikh Jarrah, actually in Jerusalem, where the Israeli soldiers started attacking the people there because the soldiers wanted to take the flag, the Palestinian flag off the coffin. From there, then we marched to the church and inside the old city of Jerusalem, and where also we were attacked again by the Israeli soldiers. A few guys were arrested, and from there we went to the grave. There was thousands, literally thousands of people. I was standing in the middle of basically the march. It turned into a march, and I couldn't see the front, I couldn't see the end of like the crowd.
Abdallah, I do apologize for interfering there, but the sound and where you are, I guess the music where you are, it's overpowering your voice, if you will, so we're not able to hear the details clearly. Let's ask that you please ask them to turn that music down if possible so that we are able to hear you. So if you're still with us, I think we can pick up on your point when you were actually describing this as quite a monumental moment. Could it be that this is what it will take, rather, or one of the events that will turn the tide?
I would say that yes. We were standing with other journalists and with other people, like the Palestinian activists, and they all say that this is a mark in the Palestinian history. Shireen herself, she's an icon in the media field. She's an icon in the resistance as well, because she resisted, in her covering for the Israeli crimes. She also was resisting basically by giving Palestinians a voice. So this, and also like her funeral turned into a political statement by itself, because for the Israelis, the Israelis didn't want, a Palestinian funeral or any Palestinian event to turn into such a big event, and they tried to prevent us from flying the Palestinian flag. However, we managed to, the Palestinian people, the crowd managed to dominate the capital city of Palestine, Jerusalem, and we flew our flags, we waved our flags, and yes, it is a turning point in the Palestinian history. This is a remarkable point in our history.
We heard the sounds of church bells ringing throughout East Jerusalem as her coffin was being accompanied by mourners like yourselves to her final resting place. The United Nations has actually indicated that her killing may constitute a war crime. Does this do something to satisfy people like yourselves who want to see a change?
It is certainly not enough, and it's not. The words that you said, it might be a war crime. It is definitely a war crime. And we have to be very careful with selecting our words. Yes, the United Nations hasn't been doing anything for Palestinians, hasn't been doing enough for the Palestinians, and we ask for actions. It's time. But we take actions. We look at what's happening in Ukraine and how Russia is basically now isolated on an international level. We feel that it's time for the international community to take action and to boycott sanctions, divest from Israel, and to hold Israel accountable, to hold Israeli leaders accountable. I mean, we don't believe that we're still living in a colonial regime in the 21st century. Israel is a colonial state. It's still practicing colonialism in Palestine, stealing land, killing Palestinians every single day. Yet no one, not a single Israeli soldier or a single Israeli leader is being held accountable. So we are actually, we don't listen to the words anymore. We want to see action from the United Nations and all people who think and who fight for justice.
We understand that Shireen would have been buried alongside her parents in a cemetery near Jerusalem's Old City today. As you got to the final resting point, what does this moment signal for you, I guess, maybe personally, right? As you rightfully mentioned, it's not something that will, or rather it shouldn't be something where there's so much hype and there's so much talk about it today. Come a week from now, we're on to something else.
I'm glad that you mentioned first of all, the fact that Shireen is buried next to her parents. That many people have been saying here that, Shireen grew up as an orphan. Since she was much younger, she lost both her parents. She never got married. She doesn't have any children. At the same time, yet she had a family. She had a huge family. All of the Palestinian people are her family. And yes, she was buried next to her parents, but she left lots of children who will look up to her and who will follow her lead until we achieve freedom in our lifetime.
Abdallah Grifat of the International Human Rights Organization, thank you very much for taking a moment to speak to us.